Welcome to Orlando Kart Center. It is the inaugural Ryan Norberg Pro-Kart Invitational. Night one of 2 of action here as we get set to set our grid for what will be a main event later tonight to contend for a SKUSA Pro Tour entry and, of course, tickets into tomorrow's Pro Show. There's a great look at the Coastal Link Printing Coastal Metal VIP suites that'll be popping tomorrow night with a live DJ and a huge party here Saturday evening. But first, we need to get a good look at the semi-pro drivers that'll be racing their way into the show later on tomorrow into the weekend. Of course, tonight they have their own complete race day qualifying down on the grid as we get set to go. My name's Xander Clements here. We'll be joined throughout the weekend by a variety of different guest hosts in commentary. Tonight, I'm kicking you guys off here live from Orlando. So thanks so much for joining us. Of course, this weekend for us at Kart Chaser is a super, super busy one. We have tonight the first day of 2 of the night shows here for the Ryan Norberg Pro-Kart Invitational, the semi-pro event anyone can enter. The winner gets a Pro Tour entry, and due to the entries and everything, everyone's going through into tomorrow night's All-Star Pro Show event where drivers got a bye and didn't have to race their way through tonight to get into tomorrow just by winning a X30 Pro main event over the last 2 years, an X30 Pro Championship, a Rock GP Pro Championship, or, of course, a Rock Shifter or KZ Pro Shifter Championship or race win. They got an invite and a bid through. There's 2 actually provisional entries that also got bids into tomorrow night. The IAME USA West owner Eric Jones, IAME USA, West owner Tom Kutcher, IAME USA East owner Eric Jones, both got bids to send guys into the race. Jeremy Fletcher is back in a go-kart seat here this weekend. He's got a buy into tomorrow night's show. And Elio Meza will be piloting a Kart Republic for the very first time. He is in off the IAME USA East bid. But if we look down onto the grid now, we'll get to see some of those semi-pro drivers getting set for qualifying. And they are far from amateurs, let's say that to say the least. You've got a number of junior superstars that have the option to race here tonight. 13 years of age and older is the minimum, so it's combining a number of veterans we're used to seeing in KA100 Senior and a handful of stars from KA Junior. For example, on your screen right there, Enzo Vidmontien, one of the new Trinity Karting Group Kart Republic drivers for 2024. And he's had a very decorated junior karting career, still not yet moved up into seniors, but tonight he gets a race against some of his idols here with the semi-pro event and then hopefully going through to tomorrow. Everyone's just got to really keep their nose clean with the entry count that has slightly changed the race format here this weekend. We believe we have 27 on the semi-pro list. We're going to send them all through and to make a master show in the pro show tomorrow night. But they've still got to race their way through tonight. And if anything, they're going to get a little bit of extra testing by driving this evening to get a good grasp of what the track will look like tomorrow, because it's a major difference from the practicing they're doing this weekend for the SKUSA Pro Tour. They're driving from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Then the rental carts go onto the racetrack for a couple of hours here at Orlando Kart Center, and then we come on for the night show. The track completely changes. Not only that, they're going to be on a different tire compound tomorrow. Tonight they're on the normal tire compound used for KA100 Junior and KA100 Senior, the Avinco Blues or the MG Red equivalent. Tomorrow they go to the softer compound for the pro race with the Avinco Reds or MG Yellows. That is typically only used for the X30 Pro category and the Pro Shifter categories. But tomorrow night, for the first time ever, it'll be used on a KA100 Senior package. There is Stephen Miller on screen. Of course, the rookie standout has had a lot of speed in his opening 2 months of his senior career. He's standing by there with his Nash Motorsports team, and he's one of the many drivers that was initially having to race their way through tonight as such a decorated junior career, but hasn't had the years yet to get that automatic bid into the main event tomorrow. But he will definitely be one to watch this evening, vying for the main event win in the semi-pro final. That'll be later on tonight. Of course, right now we're live for free here on YouTube. You'll get to watch the qualifying, hear from some of the drivers for interviews down on the grid as well. Before we get into the heat racing and their main event, that'll be exclusive to KC Premium members. And I mentioned this weekend's going to be a busy one for us here. Starting off tonight, you've got a ton of hours of Kart Chaser coverage coming your way over the next 2.5 days with a night show tonight, a full 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. 12-hour show tomorrow for the Cup Karts North America Spring Nationals. And then, of course, we'll come back for the Ryan Norberg Pro Show Invitational Saturday night, and then the CKNA Spring Nationals main events on Sunday from Charlotte Motor Speedway. So nothing but racing action here. Hopefully you've got a good, comfy place to watch our live streams from. Of course, this one, as always, Kart Chaser for 2024, powered by Acceleration Kart Racing. Down the grid, there's a look at the RPG contingents. The Felber twins, Cash and Roman Felber, along with Raheem Alibi, and one more make up the 4 pink and purple machines that are here tonight. And there's a big contingent from Zanella Racing that's got some of those drivers lined up at the back. And then how about this kid right here we'll take a look on into? That's the number 13 Coastal Link Printing Privateer entry of Gene Reyes. You may not recognize that name, but he was here on site at the opening couple rounds of the Pro National season. He was working as a corner marshal to save up money to get his racing career back underway here at Orlando. He lives about 20 minutes down the road. He was still working all the way through to Wednesday of this weekend, tuning on a buddy's go-kart to make some side cash as a mechanic, and putting all of that money in. And a huge thanks, of course, for him to Coastal Link Printing that also helped sponsor his entry into tonight's Pro-Kart Invitational. And lucky for him, again, everyone's going to transfer through to tomorrow due to the entry count that we have. But such a cool story. We'll talk with Gene later on this week about what has gotten him here to the Ryan Norberg Pro-Kart Invitational. But a very, very cool story indeed for a hardworking young man that has literally been on the sidelines, the infield, the outfield, anywhere on the racetrack but behind the wheel for the last 2 months. He finally gets to get back and go racing here this evening. How about the number 82? That is a former pro back in a go-kart here in the first time in a long while. Nate Cicero on his second year in the Mazda MX-5 Cup Series is on site here this weekend. The multi-time Pro National X30 Pro Division winner will have to go through the semi-pro show here tonight to race his way in, of course, but we expect Nate to definitely be a contender for the $10,000 up for grabs at the end of stage number 3 in tomorrow night's main event. $2,500, of course, for each of the stage winners. But all 27 drivers are going to head out here for qualifying. We'll chat with a number of them when qualifying is complete and get a good idea of where they all feel and where their heads are at going into 3 rounds of heat races where they will be divided into groups A, B, C, and D before they get all back together for the main event. So you'll see kind of heat races, about 15 or 16 drivers, as I think we're somewhere around the 25 to 27 mark between last minute add-ons and, of course, as well, a few drivers last minute backing out. But up at the front of the grid, ready to go out first here, you have, of course, Cameron Weinberg in the number 62 Kart Republic on the right-hand side. Privateer entry for Cam Bam, just kind of in association with Speed Concepts Racing. And then on the inside, ZCD is here. Zach Claymont-Mello in the Dan Devereaux Racing Cosmic. Looks to be the first driver that we send out onto the racetrack. He had a good weekend with his first outing with the team. Got onto the podium on the opening round of the Rotax Winter Trophy in Orlando back at the end of January. Struggled by the second weekend, though, at rounds 2 and 3. We know he's got the speed in it and can prove it, and he's already proven it once this year. We'll see how he looks here tonight under the lights as we go out for qualifying. But sticker tires here as the drivers get set to go for a full session of all entries here for the Ryan Norberg Pro-Kart Invitational. If you're looking for the live timing and scoring, you should be able to get that on the Race Hero app as well. But we'll also obviously pull up our live timer to get a good look at it. Behind Cameron Weinberg on the outside lane here, where he's graded up to go for qualifying, is Nick Terlecki in the Hoach driver development number 88, the driver who moved up into the Pro X30 category at the end of the 2023 kind of summer stretch. Started to put some good runs together, got into the top 5 at the U.S. Pro Kart Series at Cincinnati, and continued to roll forward as the year progressed, and really had a decent run by the time we got through February in Homestead. He's also here this weekend for the Pro Kart Invitational, but a few drivers waiting, and I'd imagine that's probably going to be the strategy that many will opt for, because before the drivers headed on to the racetrack here just now with Enzo Vidmontien, the junior driver headed out, there was nothing but rental carts on the Orlando Kart Center. They pick up the good rubber. They lay dirt all over the racetrack, go obviously a lot slower through the turns. So I think a lot of the field is probably going to wait on pit lane until the final 3 to 4 minutes come up, because it's a full 10-minute qualifying session they're going to have here this evening to put laps in. And of knowing what we know about these Avinco tires, especially the newer compounds that's coming, but even with the ones that we've got for them tonight, just the Avinco Reds at least, which I believe is on the new compound, or Avinco Blues tonight, the new version, the MG Reds. equivalent, that you're peaking on lap 2 to 4. So you don't necessarily need to run the full 10 minutes. I think a lot of the veterans are going to wait and use the last couple minutes of the session and hope that the drivers like Enzo Vidmontien, who went out first, clean the racetrack off for him. So a few more coming out there out of pit lane. You can see at the top of the screen that was Axel Cabrera, and there is, again, some of the dirt and marbles and just all kinds of trash on the racetrack. You saw one piece get kicked up by Enzo, and then there's even, marbles there from the groove in the center. That's the rental kart rubber from the shortened hairpin that they run on the Orlando Kart Center track. They don't run the entire circuit when they send the rental karts out. So first few laps coming across. Enzo Vidmontien, his opening lap is decent. And we will keep our eye on where everyone shuffles on through here in qualifying as they continue to roll through turn number 3. So down to turn number 4 for qualifying for the Ryan Norberg Pro-Kart Invitational Semi-Pro Night here as we get underway. So here is Cameron Weinberg in the number 62. You saw him wait a lap before he went out onto the racetrack. He's just ahead of the number 86, or just behind the number 86 Tony Kart machine that's up the road from him. And they've got at least a good amount of clean racetrack to get underway. So first few laps coming in. Disregard the ticker on the side there in terms of where they will be. I'll update you on where we are. It's just set on intervals right now, not on your lap time. So we'll get that set and sorted for you here in just a few moments while these sessions are underway for the Norberg Pro-Kart Invitational. But there we go, just set up now. So now it will update with about 3 minutes elapsed so far here in qualifying, and those times will populate on the screen here in just a moment with 20 plus trying to set the grid. And again, all these drivers, they're only going to see all of them, all of each other on track at the same time right now, and then during the main event later tonight here, pushing about 9:30 p.m. So that'll be much later on into the evening because they get about 30 minutes of a work break in between the sessions to make any adjustments on the karts, fix any crash damage they may have incurred during the heat races, and everything else of the like. We'll let the times update as they come across the line. There's a decent one from Vidmontien, the 56.656. We'll let the rest populate through. There goes Weinberg to second, 10th and a half off. Here's Colin Lloyd on the T1D Racers Pink and Chrome Inter MS machine. Now, Alessandro DiTullio was one of the Pro X30 drivers, teammate to Colin Lloyd, who did get an invite. But the team ultimately couldn't make it out for this weekend's event. They'll be here, obviously, next week for the SCUSA Pro Tour. Colin Lloyd said, you know what? $10,000 up for grabs. Count me in. I'll throw my go-kart in the trailer with my dad, and we'll get up to Orlando on our own. So while he's got the pink and chrome kit for Inter MS, he is here basically as a privateer. And of course, Lloyd, born in Orlando, Florida, or Miami, Florida, he's basically a home state, nearly home track kid, so he knows his place well enough on his own. He should be pretty decent. But behind him is a true hometown hero, Leonardo Scorpioni. The Brazilian-American calls Orlando, Florida his home, has since he was in micro. And Leo, as he heads onto the front straightaway with a big run to Colin. Colin's going to let him on go here in qualifying. They got plenty of time for it. It's a good enough tow to go to second. And now we're going to trade the top spot. Finnegan Bailiff in the number 49 TKG Kart Republic goes quickest here as we approach the halfway mark in qualifying. So nice start for Finnegan. Nick Terlecki on the Host driver development. Number 88 is second. Vidmontien gets bumped to third. Scorpioni in now his third year running in the senior categories in karting. He's also got a USF Juniors campaign on deck as well. A busy 2024 for Leo. He sits in the fourth spot just ahead of his teammate Alexander Vanchev down in fifth. Still a pretty wide spread though, and a handful of drivers that have not turned laps yet. We're still waiting on more of the grid to head on out. It seems like a good amount are on track now, but check it out for the 49 of Finnegan Bailiff there at the back is, whoa, looks like we got a broken bumper bolt for Scorpioni, as there's Terlecki getting through some traffic, and there is your provisional pole man. By the time we found him, it's taken too much time, and now we've got to change at the top of the boards again. Cameron Weinberg is now your quickest man. Vidmontien to second, Nate Cicero to third, and Bailiff has been bumped all the way to fourth, catching traffic on that lap. More drivers on screen. That is the 2:30 of Eric Questo, who is down in 16th. And we're starting to see the gap tighten up in the top 10. 3/10 right now. Stephen Miller, your new driver, at the top of the boards over Weinberg, Enzo Vidmontien, Nate Cicero, then Bailiff, who's going to have traffic from Eric Questo headed down to turn number 10 as he goes by and clips him a little bit on the way through. So another burned lap here for Finnegan Bailiff, but he will be in a good spot to run down Victor De Alencar, another one of the junior drivers running in this open event. He is in 12th, the number 77 RPG Cosmic. A lot of time left. Again, this is a long quali. That's the good part about this session for everyone. So much time to shuffle, and it's allowed us to get some new drivers at the top of the field again. How about Nate Cicero in the Tony Kart? The former Rawlson Performance Group one of the leading men at RPG in the Pro X30 class. Then was a K100 senior specialist to the end of 2023. Nate Cicero, second, right behind Stephen Miller on a privateer effort. He was sleeping over here at Jeremy Fletcher's place while they were waiting for the Mazda MX-5 Cup Series to head to Sebring International Raceway, and just hanging out in Florida in between, testing, running some races. And as soon as Fletcher got the invite, it's like, well, Nate, might as well get a go-kart together for you as well. And OTK USA stepped up in a big way, provided 2 Tony Karts for the 2 former pros. So Nate Cicero now in second. And he'll get bumped to 4th, but he's got clean track. Let's see what he does. Coming across the line in the number 82, Macumbi Macalayer blue suit there for the Tony Kart. Nate Cicero at the stripe. Ends up second, going across that time by 600ths off. Axel Cabrera, still your fastest on the AKT Racing Team Energy. Then Miller in the Nash Motorsports machine. Then the privateer and Cameron Weinberg. De Alencar has moved up to the 5th spot. Nick Terlecki back to 6th. Enzo Vidmontien, Finnegan Bailiff, Alexander Vanchev as we continue to roll. Here's a look at Miller coming out of turn number 4. He is third, about a 1/10 and a quarter away from the top spot as we stand right now with 2 minutes to go. Apologies about the live timing not being up yet on Race Hero. However, we do have it on your screen for those that are following along. So we continue to go through, of course, some of the live chat commenting as well. The CK&A Spring Nationals, they are still underway. They're wrapping up a very wet and wild Friday practice. We'll be live first thing in the morning tomorrow at 8 a.m. for warm-ups and potentially a rerun of any happy hour sessions that do not get run. 500 drivers up there, a massive event for the CK&A Spring Nats to kick things off. Minute 20, though, left here in this one for KA Senior qualifying. Axel Cabrera still on top by 200ths on the AKT Energy. There's a look at the Felber twins, the RPG Cosmics, through turns 5 and 6. Enzo Vidmontien third, Nick Terlecki 4th, Stephen Miller, Cameron Weinberg, Victor De Alencar, Raheem Alabai has cracked the top 10. Here's Jackson Wolney. He's 10th right now. Spent a lot of time over the last day and a half working with SCR's lead driver, Austin Garrison. Unfortunately for Jackson Wolney, right now not cracking the top 5, just barely in the top 10, about 4/10 to find, while he runs just ahead of Chase Gassey at Lee in that Coastal Link custom printing Nash Motorsports EOS kart. They're going to get one more lap, it looks like, if we go the full 10 minutes here. 9.5 complete so far as Wolney takes us out of the final turn onto the front straightaway and across the line. Any improvement for either one of these two young guns. Wolney to 8th, Gassey at Lee improves. He'll go to 10th. 3.5 tenths now separates your top 10. No time from Quick Mick Gabriel or Pierce Jaso. Both drivers entered in the event, and we're waiting to see if maybe their strategy will be to wait, save the new rubber, and start from the rear of the first heat race. Could be a bit of a gamble. They'll have to start at the rear of all 3 of their heats, but knowing that there's only going to be about 15 cars on the racetrack, not a bad call. ZCD up to 10th now, as Cicero has gone to the top of the boards at a 55.491. This will be the checkered flag at the line. Here's the 2 young guns. They go through the back hairpin. Ahead of them are the Felber twins. They might get a bit of a toe off them. Nick Terlecki, he'll bump to 5th there across the line. Stephen Miller 3rd. Cabrera 2nd. Nate Cicero, after a little bit of rust, shake it off over the last day and a half. The former Pro X30 main event winner is once again showing why he's got the talent that has put him in the hardware position that he has been, collecting the number of trophies that he has. Nate Cicero quickest here at the end of qualifying over Cabrera. Miller Vidmontien, and Nick Terlecki. Let's take a look at how they all stacked up through that final session. Of course, Nate Cicero, Axel Cabrera, Stephen Miller, Enzo Vidmontien, Terlecki, the top 5. Weinberg, and then on back through the results for the top 10. So that's a look here as qualifying comes to a close. I know we have David Land down on pit lane with Kendall Hedge. They're going to take a look into the scale area as we take a look over to the Norberg Nation Suites. Of course, the Coastal Metal Custom Ink VIP suite as well is starting to get going here tonight as we get ready to get under the lights. But let's take a look here at the scale area. There is Stephen Miller in the Nash Motorsports machine having to go back over and weigh again. And I believe they'll be able to make their way into the scales and talk to the drivers here if they want to. So we'll wait and see if Dave has the guts to go right straight to him or if he wants to give these drivers a minute to cool off. But he definitely can head on in and go chat with them here as we come off. And, of course, what a performance for Nate Cicero to be able to put it on the pole by just about 15 thousandths of a second here in KA Senior qualifying. There's a look at Leonardo Scorpioni on that black, yellow, and white Zanella Racing Cosmic. They've got about 30 minutes again, and he had a really loose rear bumper that might have been dragging on him, which that would be holding down the Orlando native quite a bit. There's Gene Reyes lined up behind him on the Coastal Ink custom printing Tony kart. And as they begin to move over to post-qualifying tech, it's a quick run back, folks, again, because we will be going back to the first round of heat races in just about 30 minutes. 6:48, I believe, is the first time we're set to go with Heat 1, Groups A and D running together on the racetrack. And then, of course, we'll go B and C, and they'll be split up, run the full round robin of heat races all the way through the night, and then move on through. We'll take a commercial break. When we return, we will be chatting with Nate Cicero and a number of our other semi-pro competitors here. You're watching Kart Chasers coverage of the Ryan Norberg Pro-Kart Invitational live from Orlando.
So you finally want to get behind the wheel, huh?
Yeah, I've been shooting for 3 years and I've never got to drive.
Well, you're going to need some more gear than just your helmet. Why don't you go to shopakr.com. They got their inventory online and they'll ship it the same day if you order before 5:30 p.m. Eastern.
They got shoes?
Yep.
Gloves?
Yep.
Rib protectors?
Got those too.
Can they make me go fast?
No.
Here at Acceleration Kart Racing, we've got everything you need to get on track. What happens next? Well, that's on you. Check us out online at shopakr.com.
Here at MPG Motorsports, our main goal is to provide the best pathway to professional motorsports for our entire team, drivers and mechanics alike. We're based out of Whiteland Raceway Park in Indiana. For more information, contact us at chase@mpg-motorsports.com.
Studies show that even the best current generation of simulators only convince 50% of the human brain that they are real. Here at SimCraft, that just isn't realistic enough. Developed to offer the most realistic karting sim experience in the world, all testing has shown that the physics engine used in SimCraft's Grid 1 model convinces 90% of the human brain that you are actually on track. Now that is the real deal.
Brandon, why are there all these charges for just over $200 from Acceleration Kart Racing's website?
That's because AKR gives you free shipping on orders of $200 or more within the continental US.
Okay, But I thought you were just getting a pair of gloves. That's what, 70 bucks?
But if I'm getting a new pair of gloves, I might as well get a new pair of shoes to match. And then on top of that, I'll get a neck brace because with the shipping, it's basically free.
Yeah, I do not think the math checks out on that.
Everything you need, all in one place and shipped to your door for free for orders of $200 or more. Exclusions apply. Spend responsibly.
Generation of simulators only convince 50% of the human brain that they are real. Here at SimCraft, that just isn't realistic enough. Developed to offer the most realistic karting sim experience in the world, all testing has shown that the physics engine used in SimCraft's Grid 1 model convinces 90% of the human brain that you are actually on track. Now that is the real deal.
Kyle, I need a new 219 chain. I need a 77 tooth sprocket. I need some more chain lube, and I need it probably as soon as like tomorrow. Dude, are you even listening? Like, we need this to run this weekend.
Want anything else?
What do you mean?
I already got it in the car on Acceleration Kart Racing's online store, bro. All orders over $200 get free shipping.
Oh, throw in a set of tires.
Done.
Everything you need, all in one place and shipped to your door for free on orders of $200 or more. Exclusions apply. Shop AKR.com.
Lights are on in the Norberg Nation Suite there across the way. And, of course, the Coastal Link Custom Printing VIP Suite starting to pop as well as we begin to race our way into the evening here from Orlando Kart Center. We'll be heading down to chat with a few of our top qualifiers from the semi-pro event. Of course, Nate Cicero, your fastest man that will lead the field off in Heat A versus D. To later on tonight. Again, the heat racing, folks, that is going to be exclusive.
Brandon, why are there all these charges for just over $200 from Acceleration Kart Racing's website?
That's because AKR gives you free shipping on orders of $200 or more within the continental US.
Okay, but I thought you were just getting a pair of gloves. That's what, 70 bucks?
But if I'm getting a new pair of gloves, I might as well get a new pair of shoes to match. And then on top of that, I'll get a neck brace because with the shipping, it's basically free.
Yeah, I do not think the math checks out on that.
Everything you need, all in one place and shipped to your door for free for orders of $200 or more. Exclusions apply. Spend responsibly. Shop AKR.com.
Got cut off by myself there. That's a new first. But nonetheless, anyway, from Orlando Kart Center, the lights on here from sunny Central Florida. Again, as I was mentioning, if you want to be able to make sure that you can watch the heat races, the semi-pro main, the lead up into tomorrow's pro show main, tomorrow's main event for $10,000, all three stages here from Orlando will be one of the few main events, only a handful that we'll be having free to view. So if you aren't able to subscribe to become a KC Premium member, that is okay. You will be able to watch those main events. The main event tomorrow for free. Of course, you have the free preview coverage tonight. The KC Premium members, though, the semi-pro event's going to be a little bit wild. 3 full rounds of heats, 6 total heat races, then a semi-pro final here this evening. That'll be behind the KC Premium exclusive subscription. Of course, the same type of format, kind of inversed for the CKNA Spring Nats. You can watch warm-up and qualifying for free tomorrow. Then they'll go into the 2 heat races. That'll be exclusive to the premium members. And then on Sunday, You'll be able to watch the last chance qualifiers for free. The warm-ups of the mains are free. The main events will be exclusive for the premium members from Charlotte Motor Speedway. But it's been kind of an overcast sky here in Orlando this afternoon. Sun hasn't been out too much. We haven't really gotten that much of a sunset. There was even just a little bit of the R word here in Central Florida, but not enough really to change anything on the racetrack. Really didn't end up slowing down anything at all. The times are not far off of where we expected to be. But for Nate Cicero and how close the field is, I think we're going to be in for some really, really good racing here for 6 total heat races and then a main event. Let's take a look at how the schedule is going to line up for today. Again, the one change, the audible that we did call that didn't get updated on our graphic, unfortunately, was the fact that qualifying was combined into one group. So that's already complete and done. The rest of the schedule stays all together. So 6:49 p.m. Eastern, that's when the first heat will go. Then right after they come off the racetrack, heats B and C will go. And then we'll have another about a 30-minute break to go into the second round of heat races and then the third round of heat races. Now your question may be, well, how do they get split into those heats? That's set off of qualifying, of course, the lineup for all 3 heat races. The heat division, Group A, the first place qualifier. Group B, top of that group will be second place qualifying, third to Group C, fourth to Group D, and then you go 5th place. He's now second in Group A, which means he'll start third in every heat. So each group is going to line one row, one lane, either the inside or the outside lane, depending on who's pole. So if you're in Group D, if you qualify 4th, 8th, 12th, you kind of drew the short stick because you're going to have to start on the outside lane all 3 of your heat races, being the slowest group of the 4. Group A, you get lucky if you went 5th, 9th, or 13th because you're going to get to go to the inside lane every single start. And that can be pretty critical here at Orlando Kart Center. That double right-hander first corner, basically a full 180, is super beneficial to start on the inside. Rarely we've seen the outside pay off, but in any case, it all gets jumbled back together for that main event tonight at 9:40 p.m. Eastern. Your point totals from how you score in all 3 heat races get put together, and that's how you get lined up for that main event tonight. And originally, the plan was we're going to cut a few drivers off the grid. We ended up just around max capacity, so we're going to take all of our drivers from the final tonight, and they will all transfer through to the Pro Show tomorrow night to compete for $10,000. And that's not just $10,000 at the end of the main event. That's also $2,500 in Stage 2 to the winner, $2,500 to the Stage 1 winner. The top 3 all get paid in the Stage 3 final main event. They do get a pre-final beforehand and a qualifying session where they'll get joined by all of the superstars that are on deck for the Norberg Pro-Kart Invitational, the likes of Austin Garrison, multi-time race winner from 2023. Already has a race win here in 2024 at this very racetrack, the Rotax Max Winner Trophy. Then you have Ryan Norberg, of course, Mr. 8-time is here, and almost as many championships as him, if not more, in the Pro Shifter category is AJ Myers. He's back here in a K100 car for the Magic Kart USA boys, and you can't talk Pro Shifter champions and race winners. How about Mr. 4-time Supernats champion, a group of only 4. Danny Formal is behind the wheel of a K100 car for the 2nd time in the last 12 months. The other time, well, he won it at the IAMA USA Grand National Championship KA Shootout. His one and only other start on this KA100 power plant. So, again, those are the guys that we'll see tomorrow night, and they are around the pits, which means we'll get to talk to them this evening and get to keep an eye on what's going on for all of their drivers, their teammates that they're working with tonight. At least we'll get to interview them a little bit. We'll have a couple guys coming to join the booth. Chris Wareheim, who you guys have seen on Kart Chaser Happy Hour, and join me for commentary for Rotax Max Winner Trophy. He'll join for one of the heat races later on this evening. Trying to attempt a few more. I know Mr. Ryan Norberg's a little bit busy, but hey, he's not driving tonight. We'll see if we can't get him up into the booth as well. And then, of course, we'll see some of the other stars getting buys into tomorrow. Talk to Jeremy Fletcher. He should be able to come up a little bit, hang out with us tonight. We've actually got another started cast here for the KC crew. Alex Stanfield will join commentary tomorrow night. The 2022 U.S. Pro Kart Series National Champion in K100 Senior, and the multi-time Texas Sprint Racing Series Champion, multi-time race winner. The last time Alex was at Orlando, he was a race winner for the U.S. Pro Kart Series season at the beginning of 2022. Comes back here 2 years later, caught off a top 5 run. Unfortunately got taken away from New Orleans, and he's working here as a camera guy tonight. He'll be working as a commentator tomorrow with me in the booth. But we've got everyone down on the grid. making their way through, and let's go ahead and we'll get set to send it down to David Land momentarily. I believe we do have Nate Cicero and some more to chat with after that opening qualifying session. Again, we go green in about 15 minutes with that second heat race. So there's a look through the bays as everyone's beginning to work here in pit lane. But a few drivers taking advantage of the garage bays here at Orlando. A few of them have gone back to the pit area. Here's a look at the Coastal Link Custom Printing VIP Suites, and there it is down on the grid. So you can see across the way that we do have a handful of drivers down on the grid. There's David Land and Nate Cicero making their way on over. Of course, Jeremy Fletcher helping work on his go-kart tonight to make sure that Nate has a good amount of experience under his belt to be ready to get after it tomorrow. I'd say job accomplished, boys, here in qualifying as they begin to walk their way towards us. Nate Cicero, by just a mere 15 thousandths, will lead all three of his heat races to green. A great start to the night here for the Norberg Pro-Kart Invitational as the sun continues to go down and the lights continue to get brighter here under the Orlando Kart Center skies. So David Land sending down to one of two Mazda MX-5 Cup Series drivers in attendance here this weekend, making a return and a well-missed face in Nate Cicero. Let's send it down to you, Dave.
Yeah, we're down here with Nate Cicero, supported this weekend by Mazda Motorsports and on the pole position for the Pro Karting Invitational. Just give us your thoughts on qualifying.
Yeah, it went really well. We had a good track position there, got a draft at the end on the lap that mattered, so put a P1.
How much do you like this KA100 stuff? Because it's so cool to see all these pros and juniors and the regular KA guys all racing against each other. How wild do you think it's going to get out there later tonight?
We'll have to find out how wild the racing is going to be. I mean, usually the KA is a little bit more wild, but it's super fun racing. It's honestly like the Mazda MX-5 Cup that I'm in, so it's close to home for me, which is why I'm back and having a fun time here.
Nate Cicero, the company man with a sponsor plug. We love to see that on pole position. You'll see him later tonight.
Thank you, Dave. Here and again, Nate Cicero, like you mentioned, now a multi-time race winner in the Mazda MX-5 Cup Series. The McCumbee McAleer boys have him tuned up for the second season. He came up with a solid run in 2023. He's a championship contender already, along with his two teammates in Gresham Wagner and Jeremy Fletcher, who are top of the point standings for the Mazda Motorsports Mazda MX-5 Cup Series, headed to Sebring in 2 weeks. And again, as we mentioned, Nate Cicero, Jeremy Fletcher here racing tonight. They'll be racing again in just a little bit of time back in the sports car division. But for now, the focus is on Orlando as we look around at the different suites again around the racetrack. This track has so many amenities that many don't really get to see. Of course, there is the Norberg Nation suite across the way, but a number of local teams as well, like Team U-Race or Brandau Motorsport, have their double suites as well. You can see on the bottom side of the Norberg Nation suite, a full, complete garage. On the top, a full hospitality area. So cool for them here and everyone enjoying it tonight. So that again concludes the free part of our coverage. We're going to get set for heat racing action, folks. So we're going to switch over to the KC Premium member stream. We'll tune on there and bring you for 6 total heats and a main event this evening.